Hello, Aries, and welcome to this, your final reading of 2023. This reading is intended for anybody born under the sign of Aries, as well as anyone else who has a significant amount of Aries anywhere else in their chart. For those of you who are new here, thank you so much for clicking and joining. And for those of you returning, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. Before we dive into pulling cards, I do have a couple of announcements. By the time this video releases, I will have updated my website to be offering my annual promotion of my 13 card reading. This is a specialized reading covering an overall anchor card as well as a card for each month of 2024. This is a very detailed reading, and I only offer this 13 card reading once per year. If you are interested, head on over to intuitivebutterfly.com. I will also post a link in the description below to the promotion. Hopefully some of you will decide that you would like to have an overall personalized reading for 2024. All right, Aries, last month, we had a quick peek for you, and there was some changing dynamics in relationships coming up for you. And you were given a little bit of advice about sometimes you need to just kind of let the chips fall where they may. So let's dive in. I do have a brand new tarot deck as well that I'm super excited to be using. We'll see whether we get called upon it. It is the Deborah Blake Everyday Witch, and it is a mini deck. Look how small those cards are. So we'll see. That is now joining all of my other tarot decks and oracle card decks. So let's see what comes out for you, Aries. Okay, middle of December, where are you at now? What is coming up for the Aries? Let's get started. For those of you who are new here, I do not edit my videos. What you see is what you get. If my camera shakes, if someone decides to walk in, I mean, what you see is what you get. I stumble over my words, cards fall on the floor. It's, it is what it is. All right, Aries, we have a couple of cards that have come out for you. The very first card that came out for you for where you're at now is the Eight of Autumn. And this is the card of making sure that you're doing research, taking seminars or courses before moving ahead in whatever it is that you are proceeding towards at this time. And you also have the Three of Spring, and the Three of Spring is about organizing and making sure that you have all of your ducks lined up. So where you're at now here as we go into the latter half of December, both of these cards are indicating that right now, middle of December is a great time for you, Aries, to be looking with an eye to organizing things and really taking a look at what you want to achieve and what you want to accomplish in 2024. Now, typically a reading like this would normally happen perhaps in February or March, but it appears as though this reading is coming up early for you. You want to get a jump start on your manifestations and your projects for 2024. The Three of Spring is an action card, being from the suit of wands, and it is a card of take the action necessary to make sure that you are following your dreams and your passion. And like I said, the Eight of Autumn, which corresponds to the Eight of Pentacles, is about perhaps look at a training course, training seminar, something to upgrade or update your skills. Or if you are looking at a possible career change, you're also going to need to be taking some courses or advice or seminars. With this Three of Spring here as well, it also indicates that you may be looking to make a change. The Three of Spring can indicate that you might be looking at a possible change. So let's move on to what you are focusing on and see where your focus is going to be leading into the holidays, regardless of which holidays you celebrate at this time of the year. I know the vast majority of people do get time off work, so enjoy your time with family and friends. All right. Aries focus. Okay, we've got one card that's going to come out here. Oh, healing. We have the King of Cups. That is a great card. Given that you have two cards here indicating making plans for the future and maybe taking some courses, the fact that you have the healing card here as well as what you are focusing on, Aries, is indicating that um, the more you can heal, and in particular, healing something very emotional, very close to your heart, because this is the king, this corresponds to the King of Cups. This is about healing emotional hurts so that you can move forward with an eye to, you know, accomplishing literally anything that you set your mind to. But a lot of us, so many of us Aries, we're carrying around all of this emotional baggage all the time. And many of us, and I know Aries happen to be one of them, one of the zodiac signs that has a tendency to carry around a grudge. Yeah, you're not the only one that likes to carry around a grudge, Aries, but you know, you're one of them. And so this card coming up for you as your focus moving into the holidays, moving into the latter half of December, is asking you to take a look at the emotional grudges that you may be holding at this time. Just have a quick review. Is there something that you're holding against someone that perhaps is forgivable? Is there emotional healing that you need to do as you move into the holiday season? There is a fly going around. Okay, there are no coincidences. And the fact that there is now a fly driving me crazy at the same time that I am talking about holding grudges and releasing emotional grudges so that you can move forward. I mean, let's face it, when we have an emotional grudge, a lot of the times what can happen is the only person that an emotional grudge hurts is the person holding the grudge. The other person doesn't really care. They've moved on. And so oftentimes we're put in a position where we're carrying around emotional baggage and we really need to let go of it because it's a detriment to our healing. It's a detriment to us moving forward. So definitely, Aries, take a look at emotional healing at this time as you focus and go forward into the latter half of December. Also, when the healing card comes up, just pay really close attention to your physical health as well, Aries, at this time. Now, I am not a doctor. I am not permitted to give you formal health medical advice. But what I can share with you is general knowledge. As you go into the holiday season, make sure that you are staying hydrated. Make sure that you are consuming lots of good quality clean water. Make sure that you are not overindulging in all of the holiday sweets that may be presented at this time of the year. So just pay attention to your physical health as well at this time, Aries, with this card coming up as part of your focus. All right, we're going to move into difficult influences for you. What is coming up for difficult influences and challenges for Aries? Let's see here. Nothing coming out yet. All right, we'll go through the deck one more time. Let's try one more time. Oh, there we go. King of Swords coming on out for your challenge. So the King of Swords coming out in your challenge is the King of Swords is an unemotional king. He is a very logical king and he comes from the place of mind. And he is the type of king that loves to dole out advice. But the advice that this king likes to give out is delivered in a way that has zero bedside manner in his delivery. So typically it is advice that you need to hear, but not that you want to hear. And you also have to pay close attention to the delivery. And I'm going to go back to this healing card that you had here with this. And it's interesting too that you've got two kings out here as well. But you've got this King of Cups here. And the King of Cups is talking about emotional healing, not carrying around a grudge. And then in your difficult influences, you have the King of Swords coming in, who is likely to give you a little bit of advice, give you a little bit of nudge. And it's probably going to be that you need to stop carrying around emotional baggage. Now, that is typically good advice, but it's advice that many of us don't want to hear. Am I right, Aries? I mean, who wants to hear, okay, give up your grudge, right? So yeah, this is coming up in your difficult influences, Aries. So yeah, I think that there's going to be some advice coming in for you that's going to be delivered in a way that is going to feel like you're putting on grandma's itchy wool sweater. It's going to be uncomfortable, and yet it's advice that you need. I also want to point out that the very first card from your reading was the Eight of Pentacles, also known as the Eight of Autumn from this particular deck. And this is also a card of get advice, take some more lessons or seminars or something. And now you have it in your difficult influences, which is an indication that perhaps for some of you, Aries, at this time, you don't want to listen to anyone else's advice. You think you already know what the answers are, but the cards are indicating maybe you need to listen to some advice right now. Let's move into messages from the universe, messages the universe wants you to hear at this time. There's one card out. Is there another one going to come out? Nope. Okay. So one of the messages that the universe wants you to hear at this time is know your truth. That's good advice, especially when you've got this card here saying, you know, there may be a little bit of emotional turmoil going on with you at this time, and there is something that you need to heal, some emotional aspect that you need to heal. So know your truth, know what you are stepping into, know what you want. Let's move into what is unexpected. What do you not see coming? What is unexpected? We're going over here to this particular deck. All right. This deck is feeling very slippery today. There we go. Don't know why the cards felt really slippery. But we have no cards out. Let's go through the deck one more time. All right. What is unexpected for Aries for the latter half of December and their final reading of 2023? One more time through this deck. I do like to work with jumped cards, but failing that, we will pull a card. Oh, there is a card coming out now. It's going to fall out. And there we go. Okay. First light, beginning of a new cycle. Remember over here, I mentioned with these first few cards that came out in your reading, Aries, that it did appear as though you were headed into a new cycle a little bit early. A lot of people plant the seeds for their new manifestations in February, March, even into April. You know, they kind of follow the seasons in the Northern Hemisphere. But for you, Aries, it looks like you are starting a new beginning right now at the end of December, which is great, marvelous, beautiful. Right now, this card, when it comes up, is about planting seeds, tending to the soil. And this is just a metaphor for planting the seeds of manifestation into what we want to accomplish. What goals do we have? What just flashed in my mind was you making some lists at this time, Aries, the pros and cons, and taking a good hard look at exactly what it is you want to manifest. I do sense that for some of you, Aries, you have 3 or 4 sort of main goals that you want to achieve in 2024. And I am feeling kind of a sense or a bubble up of some overwhelm at the thought of trying to manifest all of that at the same time. So the fact that I had this flash of you making some lists, I think that was a breakdown, or you taking some time right now to kind of withdraw, look closely at what it is that you want to accomplish, and then begin to break it down into steps. I'm also seeing in my mind's eye a ladder and the rungs on the ladder, which is indicating that what you want to accomplish is possible, but you need to do it one step at a time, like rungs on a ladder, one step at a time as you climb up and begin your manifestation. And that may involve sitting down, making some lists and saying, okay, in order to achieve this, and you can put that at the top of the page. I can see it. Put that at the top of the page. This is where I want to be at the end of 2024. What do I need to do to get from down here to up here, and begin to build your ladder? Okay. Where are we going for final general overall outcome? We're headed right back over here to the fairy deck. Final general overall outcome for Aries. Final reading of 2023. Let's take a look at how they are going to wrap up and end off 2023. They've got 2 cards out, 3 cards out. Ooh, the fairies want to be a little talkative for you. Anything else? Yep, 3 cards. Perfect. Okay, in the order in which they came out. Okay, we have the 5 of Autumn as your first card out. Now, you have 2 kings in your reading so far, Aries, as well as the 8 of Autumn, 8 of Pentacles. All 3 of those cards indicate reach out to others for advice and assistance, and you are closing out the year with a card with yet another meaning. I'm just going to read it. Reach out to others for assistance. 5 of Autumn, 5 of Pentacles. Also, the 5 of Pentacles is a card reminding you not to overextend your finances at this time of the year. You have the Star coming in for your final overall ending to 2023. And this Star, there are 3 cards in the deck that are considered the happiest cards in the deck. The Star is one of those cards. And what the Star is that it's literally telling you that the stars are shining down upon you, and the stars are shining down upon and bringing light into that which you want to manifest at this time. This is a card that is filled with optimism and hope. It's perfect to wrap up your reading. And you also have the Prince of Autumn coming in. The Prince of Autumn corresponds to the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is a very diligent knight, especially when it comes to money and career. And what this one brings in for us, Aries, is making sure that you have all of your T's crossed and your I's dotted when you begin to birth this new project that you are going to be working on for 2024. So with that, I'm going to leave off your reading. If this resonated for you, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel so you'll receive notifications about my next posting. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that you will allow me the honor of doing your next reading for you coming up at the beginning of January. And again, if you are interested in having a personalized 13 card reading to have a peek into 2024, by all means, check out the link in the description below. Take care, everyone.